the guys. Wait until you hear it. Lawmakers have been doing everything they can to prevent children now, the exposure from lead. They've been putting bans on all kinds of products that aren't even toys. Now there is a ban against selling children's dirt bikes and ATVs for kids ages 12 and under. Apparently, Congress feels, and I'm not kidding, that children might lick the lead off of the brakes, tire valves, and gears. If your kid is licking the gears, we should let natural selection work. These kinds of bans are threatening to put thousands of retailers out of business, and I believe it is the last final nail in the coffin of common sense. Here's off-road racing legend Malcolm Smith, owner of Malcolm Smith Motorsports in Riverside, California, and Steve Moore, senior economic writer for the Wall Street Journal. Stephen, how are you, sir?
I am good, Glenn. I hear this story, and I don't know if we should laugh about it or cry about it. And by the way, I've said it's the final nail in the coffin so many times.
Oh, I
don't think it is.
Wait. We can dig that coffin up. I've got more nails than a hammer.
It could be something even more stupid.
Yeah, okay. So let's just go over Stephen before. By the way, hello, Malcolm. Yeah. How are you, sir? Loved you in the McQueen movie.
Hello, Glenn. How are you?
Very good. Okay. Before we get to you, Stephen, I know you did a story in the Wall Street Journal on this.
Right.
Kind of give the scope of all of this. This is our stupid government trying to figure out, hey, we've got to get on the bandwagon because China is selling us lead toys, and we're now burning books. You want to give the whole update on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect example of regulatory overkill where, Glenn, where sometimes regulation can actually make us more unsafe rather than safer. And what happened here is, remember, Glenn, there was the story that about this time last year when some of these Thomas Train toys were imported from China, and they had a high level of lead in the paint. And so what happened was Congress was so infuriated by this. By the way, only a handful of kids across the country were harmed by this. And so what happened was Congress passed a bill that banned a certain amount of lead in all toys. Now, here's what they did, though, in all their ingeniousness on Capitol Hill. They did not allow any kind of lead time for this new law. So now we have about $2 billion, that's $2 billion with a B, of toys that have been removed from toy shelves at a time when the toy industry and retailers are already in huge trouble. And they also applied this to books, as you said, old books like Dr. Seuss books that people think that the kids are going to lick the pages, and they've also applied it most ridiculously to these motorcycles.
Wait a minute, hang on just a second. We can lick the pages of books? I never tried that.
You're not supposed to do that.
Can I tell you something? I read Dr. Seuss to my kids every night. I read, books to my kids every single night. If I came into their room and they were licking, they were like, hey, Dad. I see, what the hell is wrong with you? Stop licking the book. I mean, jeez.
The irony here is that we've been trying to get kids to read books, and now they're taking the books off the library shelves. It's right out of Fahrenheit 451. Okay.
All right. Now, Malcolm, you are a legend. In case you don't know, Malcolm Smith, motorsports legend. He's been licking the gears of bikes. He's actually only 14 years old. But Malcolm, you have a big business. Selling these bikes and ATVs. How many of them do you have sitting on your property right now?
We have about 45 that we're not allowed to sell right now.
But you're selling them.
We're selling them.
If I'm not mistaken, you've sold 3. I just want to ask you a question. Do you want me to pursue this line of questioning now? Because I suppose I'll bet you're going to get a phone call in about 10 minutes. You've sold 3 of these bikes, and you've went, tough luck. Sucks to be you, federal government, because you're going to sell them anyway.
I'm selling a lot more than 3 now, and a lot of other people are now. It's only a $100,000 fine per bike. And that's $300,000. I can make that up in 20 minutes, so it's not a problem.
Okay, hang on just a second.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Malcolm, why do you hate children that lick gearboxes so much?
They don't. The final straw, we were told about this law about 10 2 weeks before it went into effect. And I couldn't believe the absurdity of it. I thought it was an April Fool's joke, but it wasn't. And a woman came in that's a steady customer of mine. She rides with her family out in the desert, and she said now her daughter wanted to ride too, and she was 9 years old, and this is what she wanted to buy. And I told her, well, I can't sell you that. I can't sell any children's motorcycles, motorcycle parts, helmet. If you wanted to take your son on a motorcycle ride to the park to watch a soccer game, you couldn't buy a child's motorcycle helmet right now.
All right, let me ask.
Hey, Glenn, can I ask Malcolm a question about this? Because I've been hearing from some of my friends in this industry, Malcolm, that a lot of parents now are having to buy the bigger motorcycles for the kids because they can get those, and that they're much more dangerous than the smaller bikes. Is that true?
Yes, because they buy the bigger, faster ones that are harder to handle. And
but
it's just an absurd law.
They will not get their tongue stuck in the brakes.
Well, we have guards. We have guards watching the floor all the time because the kids suck on the motorcycles and chew on the fenders.
Right. You know what? Can I tell you something? Did you see the movie? Did you see the movie Christmas Story? That's the way it was originally shot. You know, the kid had his tongue stuck in a gearbox of a motorcycle, and they had to change it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Malcolm. Tell you what, if you get a call, which I believe now, let's coordinate watch, is about 3 minutes away. You get a call from the government that says, "Hey, we're coming down on you for selling these bikes." You call us back, will you? We'll get you into some more trouble.
Well,
Malcolm, you're a hero.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry, I think I got my mind stuck in the gearbox. If you are going to the San Antonio Tea Party this Wednesday, make sure you go to glennbeck.com.